Hi everyone, my name's Sam, and I'm going to discuss the diversified nature of the National Wealth Fund and how this creates nearly, but not quite, free money. I've heard a criticism of the NWF that it doesn't offer a guaranteed return, but there is no such thing as a guaranteed return. That being said, as long as enough time is allowed to pass, a diversified portfolio like the NWF can be expected to increase in value. So, what is a diversified portfolio? Diversified portfolios are the answer to an investment problem. You cannot understand diversified portfolios without first understanding the problem, which arises when you want to invest in a single company, like Apple. We'd have all liked to have invested in Apple 30 years ago, but we can't tell ahead of time who will be the big winners. It can be helpful to think of companies like Apple as a black box that takes in some value in the form of money, operates on it during their forms of business, and outputs more value than went in. This is called the profit motive, and it drives companies to create value. Now, sometimes this can go wrong. Maybe less value is output than was put in, or worse, the company goes bankrupt and there is no value at all output. This is the inherent risk of investing in a single company, and a diversified portfolio addresses this risk by spreading your investment across numerous companies. You'd only invest in companies that are more likely than not to create value. This means that when a company fails to do so, this is by definition a less likely outcome. It is even less likely that two companies you've invested in both fail, and even less likely that more companies you invest in, they all fail. To capture this phenomenon, you invest in a diversified portfolio so that if one company underperforms, then on average, the rest of the companies make up for it. What this means is that a diversified portfolio is less risky than investing in a single firm. Say you decided to invest in 100 of the best companies that you can find on the London Stock Exchange. That is a well-diversified portfolio. Now, the FTSE 100 index does just that. And we can see the historical performance of that diversified portfolio right here. You can see that there are jagged movements in the value of this diversified portfolio where it has lost some value at given points in time, but you'll notice that the overall trend is consistently up. If you had invested in this diversified portfolio in 1984, you would have easily made a return on your investment by now. This is an example of why we can expect a diversified portfolio to generate value over a long enough period of time. Now, these fluctuations demonstrate the inherent risk in investing. At any particular point in time, the value of your investments could decrease. That is the trade-off. That means investing in a diversified portfolio cannot be considered truly free money. I'm afraid that free money doesn't actually exist. However, these dips can easily be mitigated by not doing anything. Just wait. If we take the worst case scenario on the FTSE 100, it would take 7 years from this point here to recover. By doing nothing, you don't manifest your losses and can recover your value over a long enough period of time. Now, does 7 years sound too long? Well, 100 companies is thinking too small. Dare to consider what happens when we try investing in the overall British economy. This is more like the diversified portfolio that the NWF will be investing in, the British economy itself. The government is betting £7.3 billion on our economy, and look how much smoother that line is over the same period as the FTSE 100 index. Through extreme diversification, risk is almost entirely mitigated. Remember, nearly, but not quite, free money. The only unmitigable risk that you run by investing in the British economy is if the entire economy went bankrupt. While this could happen, it would require an unrecoverable societal collapse such as nuclear Armageddon or a zombie apocalypse. Aside from not being terribly likely, it is easy to argue that in those cases we have much bigger problems on our hands than the economy or our investment returns. That is why I boldly claim that the NWF over a long enough time period is a source of nearly, but not quite, free money. While technically not a guaranteed return, by historical performance it is pretty close. This almost inevitable generation of value doesn't even take into account a crucial aspect of the NWF called the crowding in of private investment, which is another entirely new source of value creation that I will talk about in a future video. Future topics will also cover the turbocharging of the green economy, the effect on our pensions, and perhaps a look under the under the hood of a black box of a general company that I referred to earlier. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Until then, I wish you all the best. Bye.